President Trump issuing a warning to Oman, threatening to bomb the U.S. ally if it gets in the way in its efforts to reach a deal with Iran on reopening the Strait of Hormuz without tolls. Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst joins us live from Tel Aviv with the latest. Hey, Trey.
Yeah, hey, Brian, good morning. With the memorandum of understanding expired, both the United States and Iran have indicated the status quo will continue with no diplomatic solution in sight. Early this morning, another vessel was targeted in the Strait of Hormuz with an unknown projectile. Meanwhile, Iran and Oman continue talks about the strait. The U.S. naval blockade remains in place, and questions remain about what comes next.
What happens now? The MOU has expired. The Iranians are still targeting vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. They're still threatening the life of President Trump. Do talks continue?
I think, as we said, we continue to have communications, and when the deal's ready, the deal will be ready. Deals are hard. It's funny. President Trump is always aiming for the impossible deals. A lot of politicians say, well, this is too controversial, this is too hard. He thinks more like an owner than a renter, and if something's virtuous, he's in his second term now, he's got a lot of experience, and his goal is to really focus on the big things that will change the world long after he's no longer president and no longer he's here. So he's really trying to kind of focus on the big things, and that's why he's focused on this issue. But he's going to hold out to do something that is the right deal that he believes will withstand the test of time.
The Iranians have also released new statements about the conflict, with the country's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, saying in part, quote, patience, solidarity, and hope are the keys to Iran's resilience in the face of ever-increasing external pressures and threats. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson added this.
The negotiations never began, and therefore, the 60-day discussion is basically no longer relevant.
In that exclusive interview with Jared Kushner, he indicated there is some progress in the Gaza ceasefire talks that are ongoing, and says Hamas could start to lay down their weapons in as little as 30 days. Guys?
So, Trey, back to Iran for a second. If you look at the Wall Street Journal, everything the Iranians have been doing since the MOU was signed is escalating. With hitting our neighbors, not giving up on the strait, beginning to get the Houthis a game plan to shut down the Red Sea and put additional stress on our forces. Do you think our game plan is just to allow them to do it as we get closer and closer to the midterms? Or do you sense the president's patience will wear out?
It's an interesting question, and I would point today to the comments from Mohammad Ghalibaf, the country's parliament speaker in Iran and one of the top negotiators for the regime in Tehran. And he said that Iran would not be willing to come back to the negotiating table and make a deal until the United States adheres to the MOU. Well, the reality is the Iranians are violating the memorandum of understanding each day. As early as this morning, you saw another strike on a vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. And it is very clear in this agreement they're not supposed to be targeting ships in the strait, and they're supposed to ensure safe passage for these vessels, many of which are currently trapped in the Persian Gulf. And so there's a lot of these public statements from the Iranians about what comes next in the region and their military preparations. But the reality is they are not adhering to the agreement that was reached early in the summer.
Never intended to. Thanks, Trey.
Thank you, Trey. And then putting a reward on our soldiers. If they catch our soldiers, $30,000.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.